What is up, guys? Arcane here, bringing you guys another YouTube video. In today's video, we're going to be going over the Arcane Mage. Like I said in the Frost Mage video, I'm not familiar with Arcane, so please let me know down below if I'm wrong about anything. I would greatly appreciate it as it helps me expand my knowledge about the game. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of make some assumptions here, and let me know down below if I'm wrong. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and break it down. So the highlights for the changes are clear casting as an additional stack. Mastery Savant now extends its damage increasing properties beyond the Arcane Blast and Barrage to all spells. Touch of the Magi is now baseline, and there's a new effect for Enlightened. While the Archmage is above a certain mana threshold, it empowers all arcane damage dealt by a moderate amount. When below that threshold, it significantly increases mana regeneration. So Enlighten is taking the place of Touch of the Magi. It will be competing with Reverberate and Nether Tempest, which I think Nether Tempest is what people are running right now, or maybe it's Touch of the Magi. Anyway, Arcane Barrage launches a bolt of arcane energy at the enemy, causing 80% of spell power as arcane damage for each arcane charge, deals an additional 30%. Basically, this is just the power creep version for the lower levels, because again, they're changing everything and scaling it down. We've talked about this already in the other videos. Rank 2 and Rank 3 don't really matter. Arcane Power. For 10 seconds, you deal 30% more spell damage, and your spells cost 30% less mana. It's now a 3-minute cooldown. Changed from a 1.5 minute from BFA. So your big button, I'm guessing, this is what your big button is getting nerfed. It's getting double the cooldown, and I'm guessing that has to do with Touch of the Magi going baseline and maybe Enlightened, and the Mastery being changed as well to all spells. I'm not really sure what the Mastery does. I'm going to level with you. I'm assuming it makes your other spells do more damage. So I'm guessing, like I said, with Touch of the Magi going baseline and Savant actually applying to all your spells, they think that they need to actually increase the Arcane Power cooldown by double in order to not make you too overpowered. Would be my guess at what they're shooting for. Like I said, Touch of the Magi, baseline applies Touch of the Magi to your current target, accumulating 50% of the damage you deal to the target for 8 seconds, then exploding for that amount to the target and reduce damage to all nearby enemies. So, yeah. I'm guessing you're probably going to combine it, and you're probably going to take Enlightened, and Touch of the Magi is going to be pretty good for AoE. I don't know, maybe Nether Tempest is still good for Mythic Plus. It's still going to deal like reduced damage like it did before. I think it might be a little bit more than what it was before. This is going to be quick. Arcane Mage talent changes. Amplification. When clear cast, Arcane Missiles fires 2 additional missiles. Changed from 1 missile. So you get an extra missile. Enlighten is taking the place of Touch of the Magi. We talked about it. I think you're probably going to want to run this because arcane damage dealt when above 70% mana is increased by 8%. It doesn't sound like a lot, but I know arcane mages can deal a lot of damage really quick. So while 8% doesn't sound like a lot, if you pair it with like the rest of the scaling in the class, it should do a bit more. Plus your mana regen when below 70% is increased by 20%. So more time to cast spells, less worrying about, cooldown windows. Mana Shield. Prismatic Barrier has no cooldown, but your mana is drained by 35% of the damage it absorbs. It used to be 50%, now it's 35%, so this is a buff. Places a Nether Tempest on the target, which deals 17.061% of spell power, arcane damage over 12 seconds to the target and nearby enemies within 10 yards. Limit 1 target. Deals reduced damage to secondary targets, damage increased by 60% per arcane charge. So apparently Nether Tempest used to have an all effect where I'm guessing this meant that if you were in combat, it would reach all the way across, kind of like the Unholy Death Knight's Epidemic does, where it's all enemies in combat with the Death Knight no matter the range. But I'm not sure on that one. If you guys can let me know down below. That's the only reason I could think of why it's now 10 yards instead of all. Overpowered. Arcane Power now increases damage by 6%, reduces mana cost by 60%. I don't know. I don't know what the change is here. Overpowered. Arcane Power now increases damage by 60%, reduces mana cost by 60%. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Enlightened and Overpowered. I don't know. Like I don't know what the current thing for Arcane is, honestly. I mean, like I said, looking at these, it doesn't sound bad. Seems like a giant burst window. But I guess Frost has a giant burst window too, so I don't know. I'm not talking about the PvP stuff because I don't really keep an eye on that. If you guys want to talk about that down in the comment section, that's fine. But like I said, this is pretty short. There's really not a whole lot here for me to go over. Like I said, I'm guessing Arcane Mage's baseline are going to be less reliant on their big cooldown because of all of the changes to it, where it's an extra 1.5. But while you're in it, you're going to be super strong, I guess, because overpowered got a buff. Let me know down below what you guys are going to run for talents. I would love to talk it over with you guys. I can take a look at some talents. Give me an example of a tree and I'll look it up and see how it looks just from the abilities list wise. Again, that's all I can do. I don't really play Arcane Mage. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, this is a quick video. I apologize for that. The Brewmaster one's going to be a bit longer because they're basically reworking Brewmaster in a way. And I'm really excited to go over it because I've played pretty much everything but I think Windwalker for Monk. At least semi-consistently. So I'm at least familiar with Brewmaster. I'm familiar with Mistweaver. Just not familiar with Windwalker as much. I have played it, at least, on like Arcane and Frost, which I never really never really played them. I mean, honestly, the Azerite system in Battle for Azeroth, I'm just gonna do it in this video because it's a shorter video. But Battle for Azeroth kind of makes it really tedious to try to play other specs, and I don't like that about the expansion because you have to have the Azerite gear in order to back it up. And not to mention the fact that there's some traits that are really bad for classes. Like Unholy has Last Surprise, and it's not that good. It's really not. It has the nasty tendency to pull things, and it's a terrible Azerite trait as a whole. Is it usable? Yes. But is it terrible? I think so. So I'm sure Arcane and Frost have those same pitfall Azerite traits, and I just don't feel like, getting a million different Azerite pieces in order to play those specs. I'll wait till Shadowlands where I'm going to be less reliant on Azerite to play the class, and all my buttons are going to be with the class as I pick it, But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys can teach me something down in the comments section. Normally I say this is the part where I say hopefully you guys learned something. As always, I'm live on Twitch down below if you guys want to go ahead and check that out. The Twitch stream description will be down there. Hit that follow button. I'm playing WoW usually Wednesdays and Fridays for sure because we have raid on, I think it's 8 p.m. Eastern on those days. And then there's other days where I may randomly be playing World of Warcraft, doing Mythic Keystone, stuff like that, And I do play other games like League of Legends, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and the like. So there will be days where I play that. But if you guys still want to come in and talk World of Warcraft, I've got no problem talking World of Warcraft with you guys. Anyway, catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.